Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all you sexy beasts of Nerdtube and my co-host Cheeto and Zam and everyone watching along on the stream. We are here to break down WWE WrestleMania 41 Night 2. And let's just get into it. How'd you guys feel about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think that it was a good WrestleMania? Did you think it was a bad WrestleMania? Cheeto, what do you think?
I think I am in the damn birds. I think I am in the minority where a lot of people say that they say that they like night 2 better than night 1. I like night 1 better than night 2, but I thought it was okay. Definitely there were some duds. I'm sorry, like the women's tag match they should have switched that out for something else. The Orton thing was funny and fun, but at the same time was a waste. So yeah, I'm sure there's other, and that main event was garbage. Let's be real, that was a garbage main event. So yeah, I enjoyed night 2 or night 1 better than night 2.
Night 2. All right, Zam.
I think the reason I agree with Cheeto to a degree. I think the reason why people are saying night two is better than night 1 because apparently the match of the night was the opening match. That's what a lot of people are saying. Regardless of that, I had some issues with night 2 of WrestleMania. I did still enjoy elements of it, but yeah, the issues is what I want to talk about definitely at some point.
All right, well,
big fucking.
I'm gonna go ahead and go in order, and luckily, thanks to Wikipedia, we've got the times of the matches, so I will be reading them out. Io Sky defeats Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley by pinfall with a ring time of 14 minutes and 25 seconds to retain the WWE Raw, the Women's Championship. I don't know what the official name of it is. I don't really care. But I thought that, honestly, this was the match of the night. This is how you come out strong. All three ladies did their damn thing, and Bianca got pinned, and I think she's 4-1 at WrestleMania now. And everybody got their shit in. I think if I'm going to give it a star rating, I think I'd give it about 4 stars. I think it was a great way to set the tone, and it was a really good match. Cheeto, what'd you think?
I mean, I agree. I still have that damn echo. Zam, I'm turning you down, just so you know. Turn yourself up when it's your turn. Yeah, so I really thought the triple threat was really good, actually. I don't get me wrong. Even though I had issues with night 2, I still think that and the next match after that were probably the matches of the whole ensemble. I really feel like, I mean, I really didn't think they'd be able to top Tiffany and Charlotte the night before, and they really did. They topped them, not by much, but I would say they really did top them. And that just shows the experience of Bianca, Io, and Rhea, in this match. So I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was good. I was super surprised that Io actually walked out with the title. They were kind of building it that way, like now in hindsight, like, the whole they weren't taking her seriously, but I just thought that they were doing that to kind of give Io a reason to be there. Like she was kind of the odd, like Io was like, hey, I'm the title holder, but that's about it in this whole feud.
All right, Zam. Oh, got to turn himself up. There we go.
It makes like promos and feuds a little bit complicated with her overall. So that's why they kind of like treat her like the fifth wheel at times. But I'm very happy that she did win overall, because when you get people who you think are just there just to fill up the spaces, and they're actually significant, and they win the matches, then that's always a good thing. Now, there are some moments during the course of this show that are we just giving our overall thoughts at this particular moment? Is that what we're doing?
No, we're talking about the matches.
The matches.
We're on the triple threat.
Yeah. I just like sometimes when wrestlers go like this, like this, and they're telling the guy to get up. There was a lot of that in that match. A lot of that, like get up, and stuff like that. And you already see when they're running towards them, they're ready to catch them, like that. And that bugged me about that match. It really did. Like you already see them. Yeah. And apparently, and I noticed that a lot in that particular match. Even though all three of those women are great, I noticed that a lot, and that irked me about this match. Yet everyone was calling it match of the night. Fair enough, each to their own. I thought it was a good match, though, nevertheless.
All right. And then we had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre goes over in a Sin City street fight at a runtime of 13 minutes, 55 seconds. I was not expecting this to be, your typical 5-star classic. I was thinking that this was just going to be a war, and both guys just went out and they just did the damn thing. And Drew McIntyre gets his revenge from the year before. And I thought, honestly, this was about a 3-star match. I thought it was a really good match. I kind of wish it would have went a couple minutes longer. That'd be my only critique. But good to see these two go at it. And I hope they get elevated back to the upper main event scene. But it remains to be seen with WWE, with what they're going to do. And I will start with Zam on this one.
Yeah, for a start, if this is going to be we have a variety of no DQ matches, but if this is going to be a street fight match, then I expect my wrestler to be wearing jeans and a wife beater. And unfortunately for Drew McIntyre, he looked like he was just having a regular match. So his dress up wasn't that great. And they can call it a Sin City street fight and all of that sort of shit. It's just a no DQ. Regardless, it was fun. I'm very happy to see Drew McIntyre get the win. He's not jobbing to everyone and anyone all the time, which is great. When it comes to these big matches, he deserved to win. It was brutal at times. That Claymore into the corner of the ring with the chair was a beautiful move. I love a match I love these sort of matches. I really do. So I had a good time with it, and I had a better time knowing that Drew McIntyre won.
Mm-hmm. All right, Cheeto.
My only critique on this match is just when they say the street fight, it's not in the street, and I'm not saying they should be in the street, but they have parking lot brawls and stuff like that. This all took place in the ring. And don't get me wrong, these two guys did an amazing job. It was a great no DQ match, but it's not really a street fight. They weren't in the back. They weren't, even if they started in the back and worked their way to the ring, or vice versa, in the ring and worked their way to the back. It still was just a no DQ hardcore match in the ring. So great match. I can't, but I think it was kind of misrepresented as a street fight.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. And then the men's match of the night, which I think everybody could agree with. Dominic Mysterio gets his first title by beating Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta by pinfall for the Intercontinental title match. It was a fatal 4-way with a time of 10 minutes, 30 seconds. Everybody got their shit in this match. I thought that this was really good. They did the right thing with Finn Balor just about to win the title, and then Dominic comes off with the frog splash and pins Finn to win the Intercontinental title. I thought it was a great way to protect Braun Breaker, so that way he technically really didn't lose. So now he's got a valid reason to get it back. And Dominic Mysterio is your new Intercontinental champion, and hopefully this will lead to the implosion of the Judgment Day. Cheeto, I'm going to go with you. What'd you think?
I'm glad Dominic won. Actually, I think that the street fight as a match, the street fight was better than the fatal 4-way. I'm not saying that it was bad by any stretch. It was definitely if I think the street fight was a 4-point, this one was a 3.5. So it's not like anything horrible, but it's I felt with the street fight, it kind of peaked for the night, and then it started the downward spiral started here. And again, it was a slight drop down from the street fight, but I'm glad Dominic won. He can make his Poppy in heaven proud, Eddie Guerrero. So but yeah, I think it was very smart of them to put Dominic over. He deserves it. He's a great heel. Everybody loves. He has got the proper heat. He's got the right heat where it's people love to hate him, like Chris Jericho, not like Cena, who people are just annoyed by him. So, but all in all, it was a good match. I thought it was. Yeah, you're right. Everyone got their spots off. Everybody got their. Carlito got yet another spear that was nowhere near as good as the one he hit on Raw.
Yep.
But they tried. They even called it. They're just Carlito was up on the table and he's just like, oh, Carlito, look who's coming. Carlito's gonna have freaking PTSD forever about that.
Yep. All right, Zam.
Yeah, I did like this match. Got my prediction wrong on this particular one, but I did like it. It had some crazy moments. I actually, yeah, you're right. It wasn't as good as Raw, but that spear on those unique looking tables they had, it must have fucking hurt a lot. you know,
Those
and who
tables
better
are
to have?
metal. Like they are metal.
Yeah,
They're not like false metal. Like they were sitting there pounding on them, and it's like it sounded like the steel steps when they were
Yep.
pounding on it. Like
yeah, I'm a bit concerned that they do shit like that, because if tables are notorious for being, whether it be the ones they pull under the ring or the ones the announcers sit on, they're notorious for getting fucking bashed through. So the last thing you want is metal, too much
mhm.
metal in those tables. It's whoever designed that is a fucking idiot.
It's a
So
hazard. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I agree with you. It's definitely waiting because that's how they purposefully did the commentary tables back in the day because they would put people through them, but they weren't. They were all designed to be broken and broken safely.
Yep.
And maybe these ones are designed to be broken safely, but at the same time, yeah, when metal's involved, you get stray pieces of metal. I mean, you saw Drew McIntyre; he had cuts on his back from stuff. I
yeah,
mean, like,
lacerations. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, and you all remember the Bob Holly bad cut from
yeah.
the vertical suplex from the table.
Yeah, by Rob Van Dam.
And that was
Yep.
that was a regular table, by the way. It
Mhm.
wasn't even, So, but yeah, even though I got my prediction wrong, I'm with you guys. Very happy with the result. And the funny thing is with Dominic Mysterio is that he's kind of turned heel so many times that he's kind of become a face. All of
Mhm.
a sudden, like he did the double heel turn at SummerSlam last year when he was already a heel, but he went with Liv Morgan, and now the backstab on fucking Finn Balor. Like the fans are loving him. The fact that he got positive responses, and that's typical of a WrestleMania crowd. They were cheering the heels and booing the faces. So we'll see what the WWE does with him now. But if he keeps getting pops like this, they can't keep him a heel for long.
They just need to make some good merch from him. I don't think any of his merch has really stood out, but like they need to kind of go Jey Uso on him and just give him some really good dirty Dominic like Eddie Guerrero like light cheats like not that specifically, but I mean like that good merchandise push where it's like
Yep.
he's got that good merch that's very memorable and everybody wants it because he is over with the fans. He's a heel, yes, but he is over with the fans.
Yeah,
For
that
sure.
is undoubtable. Yeah, and I hope that Dominic holds it for at least 3-4 months. I hope he gets a good reign out of this Intercontinental title. Okay, and then for all you TNA fans, Randy Orton had his open challenge. Joe Hendry comes out, and this is only a 3-minute, 10-second match.
Yeah.
I called it. I called it, by the way.
You
Yeah.
did. You did.
I did call it, and actually, I'm happy. I'm actually. You guys are looking at it totally in the wrong way. I think this was great. I think the match should have gone on a little bit longer, but for what
Yeah.
it's worth, the fans, they got that surprise. I was hoping it'd be one of two people, Joe Henry or Simon Miller. If it was Simon Miller, that would have been great. As well. But regardless, the fans popped. It was a WrestleMania moment, and there was some funny bits with the pose and Randy Orton copying it. And when he did that, when he did the pose again, and then the RKO out of nowhere, it was beautiful. Like and then honestly, he just out of nowhere he RKO'd him, and this
But
is
see that
great.
that's a Monday Night Raw thing. I'm sorry, like it's not. I if I can go next. I mean,
Go ahead.
Go
so
for it. Go for it.
here's my thing. Like I'm not expecting a clinic. I'm not expecting him to get like 15, 20 minutes. We know Joe Henry can go like in the ring. I mean, and I get it. This was kind of last minute, but like still, they had what 2 weeks to prep, 2-3
Yeah.
weeks. So this isn't really like last minute. They could have pulled something together that would have been really good. I think Orton can still go, and I think Joe Henry could probably carry him just because Orton's older. What I would have done is I would have scrapped the open challenge. Well, maybe not scrap the open challenge. I would have done something a little bit more gimmicky and then given most of that time and then scrap the women's tag, which I know we're getting to next, but the women's tag match and because they're going to have a triple threat WWE title match next week or this week on Friday Night SmackDown with the Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, and the Street Profits. That is a WrestleMania match right there. Like, granted, the build's not there, but the build wasn't there for any of this.
Well, they had a lot of feuding for the last several weeks between those guys anyway, just to, with them changing titles and whatever. So there was a lot of animosity between those wrestlers. It would have made a WrestleMania match regardless.
Yeah. I think with Orton and Hendry, this confirms one thing: WWE is going to buy TNA. It's going to happen. For those that are like, oh no, they're not going to do that. You don't know that. They just bought AAA a couple days ago. So yeah, TNA is 100% going to be a farming ground for WWE.
Even that, I mean, I just watched an episode of the Stevie Richards show where he was talking about Paul Heyman, basically taking money from WWE. Like, this is kind of, back in the 90s and or 2000s, right? Early 2000s. Like, that's what's going on right now with TNA. Like, basically, WWE is subsidizing talent from TNA, and eventually TNA is just going to probably either A, become a developmental, or B, close its doors.
Yep, because there's Go ahead.
No, but what was also good about this is that this gets people to want to watch TNA. Like, there's Joe Henry. Who's this guy? This was pretty cool. Look at the pops for him. I want to watch some TNA. I want to see more of what this guy's got to offer. It would be very good, obviously, if now and again some WWE wrestlers ended up on TNA, like someone like AJ Styles needs to go back, just because he's a TNA original, and stuff like that. Yeah, so they do stuff like that. Yeah, that they're going in the right direction, because this is the sort of cross promotional shit. Like, this is like the super territories. If AEW had some guys coming to WWE and vice versa, this would be like the super territories of all these massive WWE wrestling promotions, swapping a wrestler here or there for the sake of shit and putting eyes on each other's products. This is ideally what would be best for business for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the saying, the rising tide raises all ships. And you're right. Like, with that cross promotion, you can have that. Like, as you said, AJ. Could you imagine the pop for AJ going back to TNA? Like, that would be him go. But you have to make it serious. Like, you got to be like, AJ Styles is challenging Joe Henry for the TNA World Championship.
You got to build it. You got to build it.
And you don't have to put AJ over, obviously. Or if you do, it just, it's, oh my God, AJ just won the TNA titles. He's going to take it to WWE. Like, but you have that cross promotion and you gain that interest.
It'll be like the TNA version of Hogan versus The Rock. If AJ comes back and fights fucking Joe Henry, it'd be that's what it would be like. And, so yeah.
But I would say overall,
is Samoa Joe in TNA?
He's in AEW.
AEW? Oh, fuck that.
Yeah. But as far as my thoughts on the match, I'm like, okay, people are like, oh, they buried Joe Henry. I'm like, well, Joe Henry got a WrestleMania moment out of it. I mean, I
don't think they buried him at all.
I don't think they really buried him. I'm like, he got to go in there. My big takeaway is I wish this would have gone on a little longer. That's probably my biggest criticism I can give it.
Yeah, I knew Joe Henry wasn't going to win, but I agree with you. Like, letting the match go a little bit longer would have been even 5 or 6 minutes rather than, 3 minutes?
Yeah. Then it would have been like, okay, Joe at least got to hang with Randy Orton. That would have been at least a little something. But, all right. And then, actually, Logan Paul beats AJ Styles with a time of 17 minutes, 50 seconds. This was your story of the old guard versus the new guard, and the new guard won. I fucking hate Logan Paul. We all fucking hate Logan Paul. But the dude can fucking work, and he and AJ had a really good match. Cheeto, I'm going to go ahead and start with you because I know you've got a lot to say about Logan Paul.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. I don't care how talented he is. Like, that's like Hogan. Like, I don't care how talented and granted, Hogan's not a talented wrestler, but he's a talented, worker.
Entertainer.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Entertainer. So, I don't care how you are. Like, when you're a shitty human being, you don't deserve it. You know what I mean? So,
right.
That's kind of like Paul Heyman. Like, some of the stuff that's come to light about Paul Heyman, and I know it's been out there, but I'm kind of late to the party. It kind of makes me look at Paul Heyman a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of
right.
I love Paul Heyman, the character, but Paul Heyman as a person, I'm kind of like, Tommy Dreamer.
I think a lot of this stuff is coming to light because maybe they want to make him come across as a bit of an arsehole now with the Seth Rogen angle. I mean, it could all be pure work. Yeah,
No, I mean this is stuff that just like I've been kind of catching like dirt sheet stuff on and just like stuff from the past decade and a half that I just didn't know since I haven't really been watching wrestling as much.
I've known the guys skipped out on paying people and shit like that with ECW, you know what I mean, and false promises, and I get it, that's what he was like back then, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But regarding Logan Paul and
AJ.
and AJ, I actually am a bit mixed on this because Cheetah, you said something earlier today that kind of really made me kind of explain how I felt about it. I think Logan Paul is an excellent wrestler to a degree, but he is a spot monkey, and I think he's better at doing those spots than telling a story in the ring. And I think that's what he's kind of like lost in all of this. He thinks that because I can do this, that, and the other, that's all it really takes to be a wrestler, just to be all spectacular. But I think he needs to be a bit more methodical, and he hasn't got that in his game. And in a way, I actually dozed off a couple of times watching this match, which is a bad thing because this is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. This match should be like, ooh, wow, like this should be a buzz of a match, but it wasn't the case for me. I didn't appreciate this match as much as I wanted to. The right person won, even though that might be sacrilege for some people. Yeah, but AJ should be putting people over, but yeah, it wasn't that great. And yes, it was an okay WrestleMania Derby entertainment.
Yeah, it was all right. It had its moments, but when we get to the end, I'll tell you why I don't think it's an all-timer. Okay, and this match, like I fucking said, should have been on Monday Night Raw. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch defeat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I did not really care for this match. I really didn't. It was like, I know these girls could work if given the time, but to me, it just didn't hit. I was like, okay, cool. Becky Lynch came back. They're obviously going with the angle of who attacked Bayley. It's going to be Becky Lynch. I mean, everybody knows this. But yeah, this match was just, this match was just okay. I didn't really care for it, but congratulations to Lyra and Becky. And Zam, what do you got to say?
Yeah, the rumors were about Becky Lynch coming back. Regarding Bayley being injured and stuff like that. Yeah, they're doing the old fucking Jade Cargill, Naomi shit again. I think what made it pretty cool is having these two Irish girls in this match as well. Like Lyra mentioned how she looked up to Becky when she was getting into the business, so that was a nice little touch. Becky coming back was that WrestleMania moment just to give this match a bit of you know what I mean? So yeah, it was okay. It was okay, but I know people are trying to say, look, we can compare this to Monday Night Raw, but I don't really like always looking at it from that perspective. Did the match deliver? And I have to say, it's really hard to say. I think Liv Morgan, I think they put the brakes on her a little bit. I think when she's quite aggressive, she's really good, but they made her not always aggressive enough. It was okay. I think they really tried to make Becky Lynch stand out the most on this, and they really tried to make it her match, but it could have been better. It should have been better. Yeah.
Okay, Cheeto.
Yeah, I mean, so the whole Bayley thing is she goes from winning the women's world title or WWE women's title, whichever one it is, last year from Io Sky, right? Is that who she beat her last year?
She won the Royal Rumble as well last year.
Yeah, she won the Rumble.
Going to be, spot injured, like out of a Mania where you've already got like several people. Rey Mysterio pulled out like at the last minute. Kevin Owens pulled out 2 weeks before, and now you're still going to go with this angle of injuring Bayley backstage. It's like, I don't know. It was just stupid. And you have Alexa Bliss on your roster.
Where is she?
Yeah. Like, I honestly thought it was going to be Alexa Bliss who was going to come out. I'm like, I was hoping because I like her, but I'm like, yeah, like, and then the Becky Lynch thing is just like, okay, you're married to Seth, we get it. I thought when she came out the other day and said, "Oh, I'm retired from wrestling" or whatever, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not a tell right there. So yeah, I maybe they should have like made if this was a part of the story, then maybe they should have made some issues like Lyra Valkyrin like attacked Bailey a couple weeks ago or something like that, and then Bailey came out and said, "Oh no, you didn't injure me as bad as I thought." So now it's going to be a triple threat tag match, and so then it's going to be like Lyra and Becky, and then obviously Liv and Raquel, and then have Alexa Bliss and Bailey team up, like, and make that a triple threat women's tag match.
What make Lyra a heel?
Yeah, sure.
By
Why
default,
not?
yeah.
No, but you see, if you've seen Lyra, like she's got too much of a lovely sweet. She's almost like a young Bailey in the sense where like this girl's just too lovely and sweet to even consider.
No, she's European. She can you can make her.
She's Irish, dude. It's pretty difficult. She's like a lovely Irish girl. She talks.
Ireland's in Europe, isn't it?
No, but she's Ireland. So you got American guys. You got a soft spot for those fucking 4-leaf clover motherfuckers. So
top of the morning.
I just think she's just got that too sweet of a nature about her. Like she's got a lovely face, a lovely smile.
I thought she was a heel before, wasn't she? I thought she was a heel like before the IC title.
Was she?
I
think
so, but I don't know.
I think once you started talking, it's very difficult now. Now you got an idea of her. Yeah, but anyway, who knows?
Okay.
I just think that this was just a piss poor storyline for the tag. Like either let Bailey and Lyra go for it, or do something else with it.
All right, and then I'm going to let Cheeto start with this one because I know he's got a lot to say. The main event, boys and girls, Estrogen Girl versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I'm going to just go ahead and say before Cheeto takes it, this was the most slow plotting main event I think I have ever seen in my entire life at a WrestleMania. No shit. It was so slow and so boring and so just bleh. But Cheeto, go ahead.
One WrestleMania had Bam Bam Bigelow versus
Lawrence Taylor.
So that was a pretty slow, methodical match too. Like, but yeah.
But this one, God.
Yeah, they really shit the bed with this one. I knew that this was going to be bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad Cena went over because, as you know me, I'm tired of these long title reigns. Like the title needs to change hands. I'm glad that Cena won it, not because he got the record, not just because they got the freaking belt off of Cody, at least for a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just. It got so stale with Cody being the champ. Like you just gotta not say anything bad about Cody. It's just the writing and the booking. And this match represented everything of that title reign because it was so boring. So yeah, I really just wanted. I'm glad Cena has it now. Maybe it'll kind of invigorate a little bit this thing going on. Let Cena kind of be heel, but they're shitting the bed with the Cena heel turn. I hate it. I hate it all. This entire WWE title scene is just so effed up and stupid right now. It's not even funny, and that's why I try not to focus on it. Jam, go ahead.
Yep. I'm very angry when it comes to this particular match and all the things that built up to this match. For a start, the more things change, the more things stay the same with the WWE. As much as they try to go against expectation at times, and with like Io Sky winning on Raw, for instance, and all of that, not just being a shoe-in, that was great. Her winning the triple threat match, that was great. But then they do things like Cody Rhodes being the guy who beats up Cena on SmackDown, leaving him flat on his back. There's no even vibe about it, So
twice.
A lot
he did
of people
it twice.
Yeah, exactly. So people are already speculating. Yeah, I mean, he's making Cena look like a bitch. Cena's going to come out on top on SmackDown. Then, whilst watching this pay-per-view, premium of it, what the fuck you want to call it, they're promoting Cena going to Perth, Australia. Like, that's a bad thing to do, when he's talking about retirement and leaving the WWE. And then in fucking October, he's going to be in bloody Perth.
That's how you know he's winning it. Yeah, that's how you knew he was going to win. You're giving it away.
Why? I was infuriated. Why are you doing this? This is the most terrible. Like, this is not until near the end of the fucking year, and you're promoting it now on fucking Mania with all this shit. Like, this is the worst thing you could be doing regarding Cena. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, and all of that. Yeah, we get a run-in from fucking Travis Scott.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, okay. Before you go on, I know people are fucking flaming The Rock today. Like they are like, where the fuck were you? You started this, and you like this picks up on Zam's point from like a few videos ago when he was like, Rock has to be here because it's like he started all this bullshit and it's leaving WWE to fucking scramble creative. And if Rock shows up tonight, it's like, what the fuck is the point of this?
But my point is like the fact that Travis Scott was given a music entrance like he was some big fucking deal. You know what I mean? No, like if Travis Scott just ran in like some fucking whatever, like some nobody, which he was, as far as I'm concerned, in the sense of wrestling, then yeah, come in, you know, do your little run in, interfere in the match, get get fucking Cody Rhodes, Crossroads,
Crossroads.
Fair enough. But to be given that musical, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, The Rock's gonna follow him any minute now, and all of that shit. But no, that never fucking happened. The Rock never turned up at any capacity whatsoever. Yeah, absolute waste, you know. And look, I know they're gonna play on this at WWE. They're gonna use this moment and try to capitalize on it, on people's expectations and disappointment, and they're gonna fucking shit the bed with us regarding all of that. But it's regardless of this particular moment being WrestleMania. The Rock needed to fucking turn up. He genuinely did.
You needed to have those three back in that ring by the end of the Rock. Travis Scott, I guess he's like the Virgil. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're doing a disservice to Virgil.
Yeah, I said all respect to Virgil, but it's just like, you know, he's the guy that shows up in like jeans and a t-shirt for every match, like, you know, and he's never in the match.
No, but for me, he's like I show speed. That's how I look at it. You know? Honestly, God, yeah, I wanted because look, at least look, I enjoyed I Show Speed getting RKO'd or whatever, getting beaten up, speared. That's pretty cool. But at least he's not coming in with a musical entrance. He just happens to be there and he gets himself involved. Fucking Travis Scott getting a musical entrance, his music's playing and shit like that, and like it was such an anticlimax as well to this already shitty match.
And not even that, like when he came out, the crowd was just, they died. Like that was the moment you lost the crowd. Because at least the one thing I could say is for night 2, the crowd actually showed up, unlike in night 1. But,
they always do for Mania, man. They always do.
Yeah, the crowd at least. But then Travis Scott shows up. He takes like 10 minutes to get to the fucking ring while everybody's laid out.
Yeah, it's me, Travis Scott. Do you understand? In the wrestling world, even the people watching this show right now, they have no idea who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? You're nobody to them. You're just some dickhead who made a fucking tune. I'm right with Ginger on this one. If I want to see a brain dead Artard in the ring, I'll rewatch when Trump was there. I fucking hate celebs in wrestling. Never liked it. You know, like I'm like I said, I don't mind them to a degree with like I Show Speed, but not that level, not the level like he was like he really meant something. He meant nothing.
Yeah, there's a cameo, there's a cameo like that, and then there's taking over the show and wasting time like Travis Scott.
Yeah, Travis Scott showed up just to waste time. But my thoughts on this match, this was the most slow. I know that from a storyline perspective, to an extent with Cena, it's going to fit. Because his gimmick is, I'm out to fuck pro wrestling up. And John Cena's slowing it down, being slow and methodical and shit. That's going to fit his character. But from a match quality standpoint, no. It didn't do shit for me. I'm happy with the finish of how it ended with Cena kicking Cody in the dick and then hitting him with the title. The finish I actually don't have a problem with. But the match itself, it felt really fucking flat, and most people are only going to remember the finish in this entire match.
I just want to also add is that this is kind of proving the point that some of these wrestlers, as good as they once were, and John Cena, you know, I'll never be part of that contingent of people who say he can't wrestle. I've never thought that. I just always thought he was overly exposed. That was my problem with Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But once you hit a particular age, you know, whether it be Cena or The Rock, you know, you have to you can't be doing singles matches. You need to be in a tag match where you're not just the only guy, and the match can move at a decent pace. But when you're doing a singles match like John Cena, he has to go slow, because if he moves too fast, he's gonna pull a fucking hamstring or something like that, and then we're fucked. WWE has lost itself completely. This, for me, is among the worst booked manias. Also, hip hop and wrestling don't mix. Why do they keep insisting on it? I'm not 100% sure with you on that one. Regarding hip hop and wrestling, for me, it's just like I said, the way they use Travis Scott in this is like he was some big Who I Am, and it could have been fucking Travis Scott. It could have been fucking Metallica. It wouldn't mean shit to me. Like it just doesn't work. Like, we wanted the fucking Rock, and you gave us. It would have been better if Travis Scott, like I said, came out with
did a quick run in.
Did a quick run in, but the fact that you had to bring him out like that. And I wasn't even thinking about The Rock turning up. But once Travis Scott did turn up, I was expecting The Rock, and you never delivered. So, yeah, shame on you.
I mean, this would have been a great time to start the Cena stable, like whatever, the weapons of mass destruction, the WMDs, whatever you want to call them, like I have, as we've talked about, throw Logan Paul in there, like he can come out and be a part of this whole Hollywood contingent of douchebaggery, but at least Logan Paul would fit with that stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
He did a promo saying he wanted to sell his soul. He was willing to sell his soul. Remember that promo?
Yep.
Yeah. And there you go. I mean, that's why I'm just like, you could, and then so you have The Rock come out, and then you have like Travis Scott come out with The Rock, and then you have Logan Paul come out like and shock people, not really shock people, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and then at the end of the day, like Cena wins. And then we've got our new like Hollywood stable, which is Cena, Logan Paul, maybe throw somebody else in there. I don't know. Like, that will actually wrestle. The Rock will be there as the final boss. That'll be like Eric Bischoff. Travis Scott can be there as like, I don't know, like big boss man in the NWO for like 5 minutes. Like
more to do with the music than anything, Ginger. Yeah, I get it, because I used to be a hip hop head like back in the 90s, early 2000s, but now I'm like, you could fucking flash like Quavo and all these other motherfuckers on the screen. I'm like, I have no idea who any of you motherfuckers are. I know nothing about hip hop today.
Well, it's all mumble rap bollocks, man. It's not the quality hip hop of our era, where it was proper ghetto poetry. Now it's like auto tune, and you don't even know what the fuck they're saying. Like. Fucking hip hop today's shit.
Yep. But overall, just to get ready to wrap this up, I think honestly, if you're going to go back and watch anything, definitely go back and watch the opener with the women, the 3-way for the title, and then go back and watch Damian Priest and then Dominic Mysterio in the Intercontinental title. Honestly, everything else, if you decided to skip the second half of the card, I wouldn't blame you if you really did, because it was like they started off strong, and then by the time they got to the fourth match, it just went boom. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and rate this WrestleMania. Overall, night 2 is going to get a 6, and that's being generous, slightly above average. I'll go back and watch the 3 matches, but that's it. I don't think I'll ever watch this night 2 WrestleMania again. Cheeto?
I'm really going between a 5 and a 6. Like, I mean, as I said, those opening matches are so very worth it to watch. Like, the first 3 matches are so very much. That's where the 1 through the 5 are right there.
Yep.
Like those ones make up that 5, and then after that, it's like nothing. Like, I'm just like, so I'll give it a 6 just because, as I said, those opening matches were so good. But I still think that night 1 was better than night 2. I would put any match up against what happened on night 2 night 1 versus night 2, and I still think night 1 would come out in a vacuum.
Okay, Zan, before we let you go, pray to God that Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't get sued, because we didn't touch on this. Stone Cold comes out in his fucking ATV. Stone Cold comes out in his ATV, and before he came out, he crashed before he even came out. He does not know how to drive that damn thing. So he goes around, he hits the wall, and a lady got hit, and Nick Khan was out there when Austin wrapped up his attendance promo. They better hope to God that there's not footage of Steve Austin drinking pre his entrance, because there's going to be some fucking problems. That lady probably will get free tickets for life. Any thoughts on that? Yeah.
For a start, fuck free tickets, money.
Yeah.
Free tickets don't mean shit if they're all if you live in fucking Orlando and they're up in fucking Seattle. Like, how am I supposed to get to that fucking place? Oh, you're doing a tour in fucking Paris? Well, I live in fucking Orlando. I can't fucking get to Paris. Like, she needs to fucking sue and get some fucking money. She was there to watch wrestling, not to get run over by fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. So she should get milk as much out of this as possible because everything is there on camera. You know what I mean? And the fact that Steve had to go check on that person shows that yes, some shit did go down. And the fact that Nick Khan was there afterwards, you saw him as well checking on that person. And then Steve even did another check before he left, and didn't even take the quad bike back. He fucking just had to walk it back. Kind of showed that there was an issue. And yeah, don't go for fucking free tickets and merch.
Yeah, get the money.
Money.
Yep. But okay, overall rate night 2.
Okay, I give it also a 6 out of 10.
Dude, Ginger, shut up, man. I'm sorry. Look at Ginger. 1 out of 10 for night 1. Get out of here.
He's been hanging around with Rick B too much. Yeah, it was like when you have certain issues in, like, for me, like when you have Logan Paul versus AJ Styles and you make me fall asleep watching that match, there's a fucking problem. You know what I mean? Because I like even though I mentioned the things like Spot Monkey and stuff like that, I still enjoy watching those spots. But I couldn't keep my fucking eyes open. They obviously brought Becky Lynch in to add some spice to the tag match and all of that. But and the slow methodical main event. Now we have Cena as champion. Every match is gonna be slow and fucking methodical. Like some of this shit was just a bit too little, too late regarding all of that. Yeah, I mean, if one of your highlights is Stone Cold Steve Austin hitting somebody in the crowd by accident, then that's not a good sign either.
Okay, and yeah,
and 6 out of 10. Sorry for going along. I apologize.
And we got 90 minutes of wrestling because I just added everything up. It was 90 minutes of wrestling.
Oh, it's like an episode of Raw.
Show. Yeah, basically.
No, actually, no, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
4 hours and 90 minutes of wrestling. That's what I'm saying is like, man, all of these matches should have got more time.
Yes.
All of them.
I know WrestleMania is about the wrestling, and so we want to see matches, but it would have been nice to have some sort of segment, in there as well. Like when Kevin Owens fought Steve Austin, they had a segment before their match.
Yeah,
stuff like that, like some sort of something, just to add to the flavor of it all, but we didn't get any of that, in this WrestleMania. Would it be night 1 or night 2?
No, it was just like solid wrestling, and then a lot of the time it was fucking adverts for shit that we don't care about. I get the WWE's got to make money, but yeah, 15-minute ads in between is basically what it was. 90 minutes and 4 hours with 15-minute adverts. I get the WWE's got to make the money, but y'all got to do something. Like for 42, we need to cut it back or do something. Because I don't know how much longer.
No, it's not going to happen because WWE is more corporate than ever. Have you seen that fucking the mat in the rest in the it's got fucking sponsorships everywhere. There's always a fucking Prime station.
Okay. Well, 8 hours because if you take in the pre-show and post-show and all that bullshit, which I don't.
It won't be long, but they did in boxing once. They actually used to. It didn't go down well with the fans, but they would paint the name of the sponsor on the back of the boxer.
Oh my god!
They would paint the name. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day they try to do that on the wrestlers. They would put like maybe TK. Like they'll put like some name of some sponsorship on their back by painting it or something. I don't know. I mean, they might do that. I mean, that's the way they're going. But the fact that it's so corporatized now more than ever. I don't see things getting better, Jose. I see them getting worse.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I honestly don't know if I'm going to be watching Mania 42 next year because I'm like, I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm just kind of done with wrestling. I'm like, I barely watch it as it is. So, All right. Well, if no one has anything else to add, I'll go ahead and take us home.
Well, like I said,
Anybody?
Monday Night Raw tonight.
Yep.
I will watch that tomorrow, and I recommend to people, the Brits out there, especially people who are ahead in the time zone. Honestly, it's just so much more refreshing to wake up the following day, make sure you avoid social media and shit, put on Netflix or whatever, because we have it in the UK where Mania's on it, and just watch it with with all that advert shit not there. It's just so much better.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. That's a good way to do it.
Mm.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Well, I'd
those
like
pictures
to.
on t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll make them wear the sponsors on T-shirts. But all right, guys, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. I'd like to thank Cheeto and Zam for joining me. We are Nerdtube, the greatest YouTube channel that you've heard of. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We read all those, and we love interacting with you guys.